Hello, strong people. Week one, day one of off-season work. I'm actually excited. I was back to back to back there for a few months. Not as back to back as I wasn't like competing like the Canadian guys. Those guys compete back to back to back. 40, 50 competitions a year or something crazy. So I wasn't back to back like that. So I don't want to complain too much. Those guys have a really good baseline of strength, so they can kind of do that. To a degree. Like that's still crazy to compete that often. But I did July, August, and then early October. So I did one in May too. Is that one in May or March? I think May. So May, July, August, October. I don't know why I did that. It is what it is. I'm not mad I did it. I had some good results here and there. America's not so much, but I seem to have that problem whenever I compete, like 4 times a year. That fourth show always seems to be a little bit iffy. So I feel like I make more mistakes, but it's also usually a higher level show at the end of the year. So it's just really, it boils down to me not being strong enough. So that's what we're here to do, to fix. It's off season, so we're going to try to get stronger. So the way my off seasons work usually, it's like a max effort, upper, lower. Well, I should say lower because that's what we're starting with. So max effort, lower. Today is a Zercher squat 5-rep max. I hate saying those words. So I'll be honest, it's going to be a conservative 5-rep max. A Zercher squat puts me, don't get me wrong, you're going to build some strength doing it. But I'm a thick boy. Front carries, like with a bar, are not my thing. All the more reason to get better at it. So that's what we're going to do. So 5-rep max on that. And I believe the next thing, I don't know if it's the exact next thing, but I think it is paused SSB regular old squats. So no box squat. 3 sets of 8 working up to a top set of 8. So ascending sets of 8 up to the top set. 2 count pause in the hole. So that's going to be terrible. I don't do free squats usually. They're not usually part of my program. So to jump right in and do 2 count pause sets of 8, that's going to suck. I'm ready for it though. It's what I want. And then I have a bunch of regular accessories. So like pin holds, dumbbell, lunges, I think. And then comes some quad extension, hamstring extension maybe, or hamstring curl. I was really torn what to wear for these squats. So what I mean when I say that is I wear flats most of the time. I don't wear squat shoes, Olympic shoes, whatever you want to call them, hardly ever. So, but the thing is, if you look at all the top level guys, specifically top level pressers, they're all wearing, none of them, not a single one of them are wearing flats. They're all wearing all these shoes of some kind. And I am assuming, if I'm thinking about it correctly, it allows for more forward knee bend to a degree maybe. I don't know. Allows for better quad drive, I'm assuming. Things that I'm not great at. I get a lot of my stuff from my hips rather than my quads. So I'm going to do Olympic shoes. I'm going to stick to them for this offseason, I think. Unless my coach says otherwise. I asked him, but I'm leaning towards doing squat shoes for all of it. So we'll see what happens. I really want to get a new pair. I don't like these ones. They just feel like I'm wearing bricks on my feet. And I don't think that's how they're supposed to feel necessarily. So there is some cheap pair I picked up off of Facebook, like when I first started having a home gym. So they're fine. They're like Adidas powerlifting shoes or whatever. I don't even think there's like an actual name to them other than that. So I'm not saying the shoe's going to make a big difference, but it's just a comfortability thing. So, all right, that's enough talk. It's also getting colder. I'm wearing long sleeves, so you're going to hear me complain about that. Now, if you're new to the channel, this garage is not heated or cold. There's a very thin layer of insulation that is more so a moisture barrier than anything. So, and I'm in northwestern PA. So it's going to get cold in here pretty quickly. Not like some of the other guys, though. I've seen Canadian dudes post stuff, and it's like negative 30 degrees up there. You can keep that. You guys can have that. It's going to get cold in here, but it's not too terrible right now, so I won't complain too much. But that's enough talk. I'm really just postponing these Zerchers, I'll be honest. So that's enough. Let's just go do it. That is the worst movement in lifting history. I really thought I pooped myself on rep like 4. All right, that's done. That's kind of what I expected to stop at. It moved well, but you can tell my positioning is really bad. So my hips are kicking back so hard, it's throwing me forward and causing the bar to roll, and I'm kind of like scooping into it at the end. It's just a mess. And I do that with squats too a lot of the time. So it's exposing a weakness, yes, but at the same time, that is such a miserable workout to me. I'm not mad at the weight. That's probably what I've done before, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. I'd have to check back to last off season, but I don't know. My low back is already like pumped or feels weird. I think it's fine. It's such a compromising position for me to be in because my hips kick back so hard, and it's a muscle muscle. What's the word I'm looking for? My glutes and hips are working for my quads because my quads are not able to move the weight well enough. In my opinion, I think that's how it kind of works. You tend to favor whatever muscle is strongest, so that's why my hips kick back so far all the time when I squat. But hopefully these squats, the 2-count pause squats, are going to help that a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I still feel it in my quads, and I'm going to. It's a frustrating thing. But that's why we're doing this, to get better at it. So let's move on to squats. right, that was, the weight wasn't anything crazy, but it's doing its job. I recorded the second set there from the side just because I wanted to see bar path. I want to get one of those bar path tracker apps. I don't know if they're free or like what they are, but I've never used one, but I think in this scenario I would benefit from it. Just because I know I'm like at an angle. I might be thinking too much, but it's hard not to think about it when the feeling in my low back overrides what I'm feeling in my quads during the lift. And that's the last 3 reps of that last set. My low back felt like it was so pumped or just uncomfortable or whatever it was. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. So maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe it's just a low back pump. But I shouldn't have that much of a low back pump anyway on squats. My quads are definitely working, though. That's for sure. I'm very happy with doing that for paused reps. Obviously, I hit more than that for 5 last week or whatever, but that was just regular squats. I'm happy with that weight. So I think we're pretty much building on that for the coming weeks. It's 2 count pause squats. The pauses could have been better, but I'm not used to doing really paused anything, so it's kind of an adjustment. I tried to be more diligent on that last set there, so I'm happy with that. But now I'm just gonna run through my exercises here. I'm not gonna talk a whole lot, if at all, during these. So I'm gonna try to remember here. I got some lunges. Some walking dumbbell lunges, pin swings, quad extension, hamstring curl. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. The sleeve on this leg machine, it almost feels bent, or it looks bent, but I don't think it is. So we'll get that rocking. And then I think there's one thing after. Calf raises, I think. SSB calf raises. I'm going to do those. And then I have knee raises, leg raises, hanging from the bar with straps. So we're going to speed through all that. I don't know if I'll record all of it. But that's everything we got next. So let's get into it. Slipped. Shakes so bad on those. I think I just ripped the seat. This thing's too small for me. Oh well. thing doesn't, I can't sit back far enough for this to sit like directly on where it needs to, and it like just hits on my shins. It's a really weird feeling, but it's really uncomfortable, but it kind of works. And then I can barely get out. I've never used this as a hamstring curl. It's only been quads, and I've still only used it like 3 times, 4 times. This thing is too narrow. I'll complain when I'm done. Let's just do this. Oh God. That's much better for hamstrings than it is quads. I don't know if you can tell, but I almost crushed my foot over here. My legs are tired. Oh. If I had to squat this right now, I'd probably just fall over. Oh boy, so exciting. And that's it. I can't even express to you guys how much I enjoyed that entire workout. I missed that. That was, I don't know how to describe the feeling of that. That was just a really good workout. Everything, I was really happy with everything. Man, I needed to get back into the gym and do like a full session. 2 weeks. Well, I haven't trained. It's not like I messed around last week just doing whatever. And the week before I was on the road, obviously, if you watch my recap video. And then the week prior to that, I'm not really doing much. So in a way, it's been like 3 weeks since a real training session, which is insane. It's just how it kind of goes sometimes. But every time I step away from the gym for a little bit, which is never that long, it's just in this type of scenario where it's the end of the year and I need a week off or something, I'm reminded how much I love it. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I'd spend my time doing. I don't like regular hobbies. Like, most things seem very boring to me. Like, I don't really care. I'm in northwestern Pennsylvania, and I don't really care for, like, hunting, really. I just don't, I can't, I feel like I couldn't sit there in a tree or in a stand or whatever for, 8 hours a day or whatever. I'll definitely eat the venison if we get it, but don't really care for it. Fishing isn't really all that exciting. Standing around waiting for something to happen. I don't know. What other I like riding 4-wheelers and stuff, but I don't really have the opportunity to do it around here. I don't have a truck or trailer to haul anything. I don't have anything to ride anymore. I did a lot as a kid. Yeah. Softball was fun, but being gone like every Saturday, driving here or there, it gets a little bit old after a while. I'm not saying I'm done with that forever. I don't know. But I'm definitely not in like softball shape anymore. Ever since stopping softball, I've definitely gone like full strongman mode. I'm not as mobile or as fast as I probably once was. And like I could already hit home runs, so like I'm literally just a much worse softball player now because I've done all this. And that's just my own fault. I could be an athlete if I wanted to be. And I think I am to a degree, more so than most other people that are my size. But definitely not as much as I'd like to be. But that's what we have an off season for. That's what we train for. So I've made it a point to do. There's two things I thought about. One thing I thought about, I know Brian Shaw's done this, where he would grade his days. I wouldn't go as extreme as him, but he would rate everything, like sleep, food, I think recovery, workouts. He'd rate it all. I've considered doing that with just workouts in general. Just because if I look at a week and I have a bunch of C+ workouts, B-, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? So the next week I feel like I'd make up more for it. But I don't know. I'm also my own biggest critic, and you kind of have to be when it comes to this stuff in a way. Especially if you train alone. There's nobody here to push you besides yourself. So there's a certain level of accountability that I have to have anyway to do this. So I don't know. That's something I really want to do, and I think I did a decent job of it today. Not as good as I could have. That's just me being me, but less breaks. Shorter rest periods, just keep the action going. I'm not maximizing strength right now. So I don't need to take forever on these top sets. I don't need to sit and rest for 10 minutes. I should, 2-3 minutes and then just go. There's no sense in waiting around. That can improve cardio a little bit, work capacity in general, which makes, when you get to those heavier sessions, you're kind of prepared for it. The less time you spend out of breath, the more time you can spend actually moving weight. So I've been guilty of, probably not, following that to a degree. I don't have the worst fitness, but it's definitely could always be better. So it's something I want to work on this off season. I want stronger legs. I want better cardio. I want better work capacity. And if possible, I'd like to carry the shorter rest times into the strength sessions whenever we get to that point. To a degree, obviously, if you're going really heavy, you have to take some time. So it's going to depend on what the events are. At the Arnold, when we get to that point, it was a max log last year to start. It was a max barbell this year at ASM. I don't know. I think a max deadlift to start would be cool. And then a press for reps, because it's been the opposite way for quite a few shows now, I think. I'd be okay with that. I assume it would be raw. Maybe another axle deadlift ladder. Those are fine, but I don't know. Max lifts can be tough to do timely. So I don't know. I'm getting off topic here. Either way, if I had to grade today's workout, I'd say that's an A. That is what I want for myself going forward. Pretty much every training session. It's subjective, obviously, but I hit everything, sets, reps, whatever. I don't really have much to complain about, if anything. Those lunges, by the way, those annihilated me. I had to take some time after that before I moved on. So that was the only thing I wish I should have kind of sped up a little bit after. But my hamstrings were giving out on me, cramping up. So I had to sit for a second, get some water in me. But that was about the only negative, which you can't really call that a negative. So that's it. I have no idea. Tomorrow's rest day, of course. Always rest Tuesdays, just about. Wednesday, I have no idea what I'm doing. I assume it's a max effort upper day. I think it might be an incline bench. I don't know, though. We'll find out. But until then, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.